until you come to that point where you don't give a damn what people think about you.
I honestly, feel that way. I feel that way to a certain point. You know, I grew up. I never really did care about what people thought about me, but I tried to blend in. And the more that I tried to blend in, the more I realized I was different. And it didn't take until I got a little older to realize that no matter how perfect you are, people gonna always talk about you or find something wrong with you. No matter how flawed you are, people is going to always find a reason to not like you. So I have grown to come to the conclusion within myself that I really don't. I've grown to the conclusion that it's not about you not caring what people say about you. Because I really don't care what people say or think about me. But I'm at a point in my life where as though, even though I don't care what people say or think about me, what type of impact do I want to bring around people when they see me, you know? Because sometimes it can be who you are and people is not going to like you because you could be outspoken. You could be a visionary. You could be someone that see things for what it is. You could be a quiet person. You could be too kind. And these are reasons why people is not going to like you and people going to want you to be a little mean or a little rough. So one thing that I've learned is that I really don't care what people think about me. But what I do want is that if I'm around you or in your circle, when I leave that circle, you are going to remember me, you know. And it's because of my individuality. It's because of who I am. And sometimes when you are your individual self, whether people like it or not, it's somebody in that group is going to be impacted by who you are. Because you got so many people right now that is fake, that wants to please everybody. But when they see you, when they see that you are being your authentic self, it motivates them and it influences them and it helps them to the point where though they want to be their real self. Because I've learned that when you are your true authentic self, you don't have to put on the act for nobody. And a lot of people think that when you are your true authentic self, that you is just one person and you just got one personality and you just one way. But that is not true. You got a lot of people down here are born chameleons. They can adapt to any situation that they go in. They can actually put on a suit and they can adapt with the rich folks. They can actually put on a sweatsuit and they can adapt to the people that they are around. They can actually adapt to the environment that they're. So you got people that are who they are, and a lot of people will look at them and say, "Oh, she fake." Like right now, I can go around a bunch of ghetto people, and I can act ghetto as hell, and probably can act more ghetto. Then I can go around business folks and be just as business as I want to be. It's not that I'm being fake. It's just that I am a chameleon. I can adapt to any situations that I put myself in. I can be in any environment and adapt to it. And I've learned that throughout my life, I don't really care what people think. I don't try to fit in no more. But what I try to be is myself. And the majority of the times when you are your authentic self, you are always going to stand out. And people is not going to always like you because the fact that you stand out and the fact that you are your authentic self, a lot of people is not going to like you because they don't have the courage to be themselves. Like you can be yourself whether you got money or whether you don't. You got some people when they get money they change. They a whole new different person. And when they vote, they're a whole new different person. So when you learn who you really are, you're gonna always be yourself. And there's nothing wrong with listening to people. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with listening to people, because sometimes you might need a little criticism, because we are all, believe it or not, what a lot of people is not aware of, even though we are around many demons and we are around many saints and we are around many Christs and we are around many antichrists, we actually learn from each other. So it might be times when I'm a little too hype and somebody may say, look, IG, you need to calm down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we are all here to help evolve one another. But the way that we were designed and programmed, we don't know how to evolve each other. We do it by hate. We do it by meanness. We do it by jealousy and envy. We don't know how to evolve each other, because we was never taught to evolve one another. We was always taught to hate one another, to go against one another. This is the reason why racism and prejudice was basically a disease, because really there's no such thing as being racist or prejudiced. That's a disease that was put on this earth. But really, if people from different ethnic backgrounds and different cultures, if we would just know who we are and learn from each other and learn each other's culture, we would be a multi-diverse nation. We would be a multi-diverse earth, because the fact that I am not Puerto Rican or the fact that I am not Japanese, I can go into a Japanese country and they would embrace me in and they would show me their culture, and I would be literate to their culture, and I would be more diverse than just being an American. I can go to China, I can go to Japan, I can go to Brazil, I can go to Mexico, and we will all learn and embrace and evolve one another, where this can be a multicultural, diverse planet. But the way that they taught us and the way that they programmed us to be, they always taught us to be against each other, that one is better than the other, when really all we got to do is just understand each other, and we can help one another and evolve one another. Because honestly, love will basically outwin the hate. That's why if you look at that animated cartoon called Monsters Inc., if you look at the very first movie, the very first movie, it was the demons that needed to scare children. They had to scare the children in their dreams to make them think that it was monsters in their closet, because that's how they got the energy in their world. They would go in the children's bedrooms and they would literally scare the hell out of the children, and it would fuel their energy in their world. But it took one of the monsters to realize that if we was to go in these children's room and show them love and show them affection and make them laugh, it's their laughter that's going to give us even more energy. It's going to give them more energy if we make the children laugh, if we make the children smile, if we make the children hyper with energetic, positive energy. It will actually fuel our world even more with love and laughter. So this is why in the second movie that they made of Monsters, they was no longer scaring the children anymore. They got so comfortable with the children till the children was even allowed to come into their world. And the love from the children actually evolved their world. So right now, this is why we were created in such hate. Because the hate that we give, the madness that we give to one another, it fuels the enemy's reality. It fuels the enemy's world. This is why we are in hell. And we were created in hell, and we are going through so much stuff because all the negative emotions and the things that we are going through is negative and it's draining us, but it's actually fooling and filling them. It's making their world stronger while we are getting weaker. So I feel like that there's nothing wrong with being your individual self. But when you are being your authentic individual self, make sure the people that is around you, look at the impact that you is making around these people. Make sure that when you leave that circle, that they look at you and they feel inspired and motivated. And maybe they want to be like you. Because remember, you are a God.